Hello, my name is Tiffany Castillo. My research question will be, what role can music play in teaching English learning language students? And how does it compare to the 7 components of language? And what techniques can we use? So the reason why I choose this is because I've always loved music. I've always kind of had a connection with music. I've been playing music kind of my whole life. And I have heard about language and music actually having common similarities, and I would agree to that, obviously based off my research now. But when I first started, I was like intrigued with it because I think that music is something that is culturally used all the time. Like, we are all sing lullabies, whether we be from Mexico or France or United States. We all have grown up with some type of music in our life. So I think that it kind of allows us to teach through resemblance, instead of just showing them a whole different language, a whole different way of learning. We have so many complications with our language, and so I think it's important for us to try to make it easier for our students as we become teachers. So my experiences, some of them were hard to find examples of how music really plays a role in that. But I think the interviewing really helped. I got to interview my mother-in-law, who's a native Spanish speaker, who knows English now, but she still has her difficulties. So being able to listen to her and see what she's really struggling with when it comes to sound-wise and everything, I think really helped. And I got to interview my high school teacher who actually teaches English learners right now. So he was helpful to look at what we're teaching how are we teaching English in today's times, and how, if music was brought in, how would we go about that, teaching that. So I think that those are both very helpful. I'll just do a few highlights. So we will So when we look at phonology, we know that many phonic sounds can change a whole word into something different. For example, the song "All of Me" I actually covered that, and I think it has a lot of vowels, and these vowels are said and sound entirely different from one another. And you can tell that just based off singing the song and knowing the rhythm of the song and how they are singing it, how he's holding the different lyrics through it. And through that experience, I got to, really learn the difference between English and Spanish, which is that in Spanish, you usually have one phonic sound to one representation. When in English, we have one phonic sound that goes to 30 million different representations. So, and so in that, we looked at those lyrics and we compared how they can make different representations. So that was a good aspect. I did look at, I always say this wrong, phones. An example of this was I looked at the sounds D and T from the words Sid and sit, and because they are different words and they have completely different meanings, but they do have similar sounds. So I showed that is the same way with individual pitches in music too. So I compared a pitch D, which is a flat and a natural, versus a pitch D sharp. They look very similar, but they sound completely different. So I did that to kind of compare. And then I went through different, I kind of just went through all of the different languages and language aspects and how music kind of helped through that. like semantics for another example. There's people who have this ability called music semantic, and it's like the ability of music to convey semantic meaning. And I got to put a study that was done that provides like strong evidence that music is able to transfer semantic information. And like a sentence such as "Sissy sings a song" disburdens the neutral processing of semantically related words like music. And so I think that was pretty strong in my argument. So yeah, I've just been basically going semantics, trying to find how music plays a role in it and how we can learn in music that certain language. And then at the end I will just talk about the techniques, some techniques that we can use to teach these in schools. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy it when